And how often have we heard, don't let your past hold you back? How often have we told ourselves, don't let your past dictate your future? Many a times, many a times. And yet, this very past seemingly casts us into the roles we play in our present and that we may get to play in the future. And yet, this very past automatically casts the molds that shapes our persona, our sense of self, and in turn our reality. And yet, it's this very past that somehow casts a vast net that becomes our present and future. That often, instead of being a safety net, becomes a net we get caught in and tangled in. What is it about this past that, even though no longer lasts as such, continues to influence our present and to a certain extent our future as much? What is it about this past that seemingly automatically forecasts our present and future probabilities? That's the question we find ourselves pondering upon as we continue to walk even further on our path of self-transformation. Which is where we finally begin to realize that it is not as much about our past scenarios and experiences as much as it is about our interpretations, understandings, and conclusions about them. Because let's realize this. It is not the past experiences as such, but our interpretations, understandings, and conclusions that either propels us towards an even brighter tomorrow or holds us back into staying where we are, present day in and present day out. Our interpretations and understandings of them, that casts a light or casts a shadow on our present day self. That either leads us or holds us back from reaching our full potential. And this is where we must ask who created these interpretations, understandings, and conclusions in the first place, and why. For that is when we will realize that it is I who created them based on how I saw and how I perceived. And so long as I still stay the same, so does those perceptions, interpretations, understandings, and conclusions. But the moment I change and transform, so does the rest. And this is where not only our past changes, but so does our present and future. And that is why, as much as we may say, past is over, we've moved on, we live in the present moment, we must reflect from time to time on how our past interpretations, understandings, conclusions, and even judgments affect and influence our present and future decisions. Because let's always remember this. Just because it happened yesterday doesn't mean it has to or will happen today. And just because it hasn't happened yet today doesn't mean it will not happen tomorrow. Walk with me as we each allow our past to propel us into an even brighter present and future.